everyone. Today we are going to be trying out the newest collection from Flower Nose, which is the Sweetie Bear collection. And if you haven't noticed already, yes, I bought the full collection. Now don't get used to it because I am not making this a regular thing. You know this one is totally up my alley, so I splurged. It's my birthday. I had to do it. So not only do I get the really cute gift box that I am going to cherish for the rest of my life, but that means I also have all of the makeup items to share with you guys. I have every single item from this collection. I'm gonna go through, do swatches, applications, let you guys know what I'd recommend, what I wouldn't, and all of that good stuff. But really quickly, before we get started, if you guys enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps my channel so much, and your girl spent a lot of money on this video, so help her out. So if you want to do your good deed for the day, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And also, if you would like to purchase anything from Flower Nose, not just the items in this video, but absolutely anything from Flower Nose, don't forget to use my discount code and my referral links below to get a discount off your order. And I do earn a small commission from it, so if you choose to shop with my links or my code, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. So I have so many things to share with you guys today, so let's just go ahead and get into it. So starting off, I know you guys are probably very curious about the gift box, so let's go ahead and take a quick look. So as you can see, it is a gorgeous gift box. It looks like Barbie Dream House, but like even better. So one cool thing about this gift box is the roof actually lifts up, and there is a beautiful satin and pearl cushion in the top here. And then if we open up the inside here, this one has the same pearl cushions on here on these removable trays. So I love that they have the option to pull these out if you want to. So there are two trays, one on the top and one on the bottom. Both of them are removable. And I know some of you guys might have a few questions on whether the perfumes fit in here. I am doing a full short dedicated to that, letting you guys know what perfumes fit, which ones don't fit, all of that good stuff. I love this so much, I kind of feel like this needs to be its permanent home now, because I want it to be like visible in every video that I film from now on, because it is absolutely stunning. All right, now I can only say so much about the gift box, but make no mistake, you guys, my inner child is so happy and so thankful and grateful that she is able to afford this. So I will say it is not cheap. It is definitely a splurge. It is not an every collection type of thing for me. I still dream about the Midsummer Fairy Tales jewel box or gift box. That one kind of feels like the one that got away, and now it's not even available anymore, so I'm like definitely really sad that I can't get that one. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I have so many things to share with you guys, and I just cannot wait because we have some amazing items as always from Flower Nose. So starting off with some of the freebie items that I got, they sent me 3 sets of the Powder Puff Duos. You guys, I'm drowning in these. I feel like I might have to start giving these away as well, but I love these. They are the perfect little finger puffs. They are amazing. So I now have 6 more to add to my collection. And then they also gave me 2 more of the like cushion finger puffs. Next, I got another pack of the individual makeup wipe. These definitely come in handy. So I just like to save these for when I have an oopsie and I run out of all my makeup wipes. These have definitely saved me before. So I got another one of those. Then they sent me both of the barrettes. So there are 2 different styles. There's like a little round chocolate cookie one, and then there's like a little square rectangle kind of like biscuit colored one. So those are the barrettes for the collection. I think they're so cute. And I also got a duplicate of the chocolate round barrette, so that one I'll just throw into my collection as well. And then of course I also got all 3 of the mirrors in the set. So these are what the mirrors look like. They are so pretty. We have a mint and chocolatey kind of color one, and this is what the front of it looks like. Then we have the pink and cream kind of colored one. That one is so pretty. I'm obviously a pink girl. And then we also have like the chocolate brown one as well. You also get the mini keychain mirror, which is a little baby version of the full-size mirror. So here is the size comparison between the 2 of them. They are so adorable. It's like little mama and baby. And then the last 2 are the makeup brushes. So they always do to these brushes, and I have like one from every collection at least, but I love them so much. They're so pretty. They work so well too with their blushes, and I just can't get enough of these. They're really great qualities. There is a little pink one, and then there is the little brown one. So those are pretty much all of like the accessory items and the freebies. One other thing I did want to mention, yes, I did order the perfumes as well. However, those always ship separately. I have not received those yet, but I will definitely be doing a full video dedicated to those two fragrances once they arrive. So for the prices, like I said, you guys, this is not inexpensive. It is not cheap. It is a lot of money, hence why I don't take it very lightly whenever a new collection comes out. So you can get the full all-in gift set either with the perfume or without the perfume. So the regular price, if you get it with the perfume, are you guys sitting down? It is $895 with the perfume. You get every item in the collection plus the perfume and the amazing gift box. And if you get it without the perfume, it is $795. Now, the one thing I really love about Flower Nose is that whenever they release a new collection, they actually discount it from the get-go. They don't like wait 6 months and then be like, oh yeah, we'll give you a discount. They give you a discount right away, which is another reason why I love Flower Nose so much. So at the time that I'm filming this, I don't know how long their sale lasts, so get on it if you want it, but they currently have it on sale. If you get the full set with the perfume, it is $769, and if you get it without the perfume, it is $669. That is before taxes, of course. All right, with that all being said, let's go ahead and get into the products. So starting off, the first two products that we have are called the 4-color concealer palettes. These are $32 each, and there are 2 different colors. We have number 1, which is called Strawberry Chocolate, and we have number 2, which is called Creamy Nama. So in each of the palettes, there are 4 cream concealers in there. So this one is the one that I used today. This one, the Strawberry Chocolate one, leans a little bit more towards like a cool fair type of skin tone, and the other one leans towards a little bit more of a warmer, lighter skin tone, I would say. So if you guys want to see what all of these colors look like on me, let's go ahead and get into the application. So starting off with the Strawberry Chocolate one, this is the one I definitely think for me works more for my skin undertone rather than this one, but I will kind of probably go back and forth between both of the palettes. So we're just going to do some quick swatches. First texture is like very thin and creamy. So this is the pinky kind of color. I'm just going to try to do a little finger swatch of that there. I'll do that one right next to it. You can kind of see that one's definitely got a little bit more warmth to it. Put that one right there. That one's kind of more of like the neutral kind of skin tone. All right, so those are what all of the colors from the strawberry one look like on me. All right, and then for the colors for number 2, this one is the Creamy Nama color. So those are these here. So once again, here is the lightest color. This one definitely has a bit more of yellow to it. Then the second one here, this one is definitely way more orangey on me than I was expecting, so I don't know how I'll end up using this one. This one is going to be the next color. This one's definitely pretty yellow on me. This one is the kind of like the most neutral of them all. So for this one, I definitely think this would be suited for more of like a light to like light medium, I would say. I mean, you could probably get away with a little bit of this to like a medium skin tone, but as far as this color for me, I don't think that I would have picked this color palette had I just been picking items individually to purchase. So that is what that one looks like. One thing I will say about the consistency of these though, they have an extremely light feeling on the skin. Like they don't feel thick, they don't feel cakey, but I mean, they seem to have a good amount of coverage to them. I want to start with the Strawberry Chocolate palette, and I'm going to start with this color here, and I'm going to pick this up with a little brush, and I'm actually going to apply this right to the under eye. I think I might do one side of my face first just so we can kind of see the results in real time. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to start by applying it right under my eye, where I have a little bit more of that darkness that I want to kind of color correct. And since this has a little bit of an oranginess to it, or a little bit of a peachiness to it, that's going to help counteract the blue tones underneath my eye. So I don't know how obvious it is on camera or not, but I can definitely see how this area looks a little bit more neutralized now compared to the side with nothing on it, with those kind of blue tones under the eyes. And whenever we come back to put the actual skin tone concealer on there, it'll help with any of that blueness peeking through. All right, and so that is how it looks with the concealer on this side, nothing on this side. You can definitely see how that really blended and smoothed out those kind of like color tones a bit. Next on my freckles, I do have a little bit of like an isolated freckle spot here, and I just want to see at the coverage that we can get. Like, will they cover up the freckles or not? All right, so here is a closer look at these freckles. Let's see what we can do with the concealer. I think I'm gonna go for this one right here. That one's more of just like the neutral kind of skin tone color. So we're gonna see what can we do with covering up these freckles. Okay, so with one pass, we can definitely still see a little bit of the frecklage here, but it definitely did kind of make them a little bit less noticeable. I'm gonna go back with a little bit of the pinky toned one here because that one was just a little bit warm for that spot. And let's do another layer and see how much of the freckles we can knock out. All right, I think that definitely helped a lot with the color tone matching my skin a little bit better. However, we can still see just the tiniest little faintest little trail of freckles there. So it's not a 100% full coverage type of concealer. However, I do think it is very buildable. All right, so here's what it looks like with a little bit of the concealer kind of strategically placed around my face. So I only applied it to this side, and this is all just my natural skin. So I think you can definitely see how this just looks a little bit more even. You can definitely see I have a little bit more discoloration and stuff on this side. I can definitely feel that there is product on my skin, but it does not feel thick or heavy. However, it does have a very slight little bit of, I wouldn't even call it like tackiness, is a little bit too strong, but you know, you can just feel that there's a little bit of product on there. So for me personally, this is definitely something I would want to set just to kind of get rid of that kind of like creamy feeling on the skin, but it's nothing that like I feel like must be set, if that makes sense. One last thing I will mention is that these do have a very, very slight kind of scent to them. I can't quite put my finger on what the scent is. It is very, very subtle though, and it's very soft, and to me it almost smells like a very soft floral, but not overwhelming, not headache inducing. You probably wouldn't really even notice it. Just kind of has like a really like clean florally smell. Very, very subtle though. I do not mind it at all, and I actually kind of like it. So just one tiny little complaint I have with this is that obviously like there is another wedge here that is empty. It's not empty, but like there's not a pan there. So there's just the 4 colors there, which I didn't really like because number one, it's just kind of like a visual reminder that there's not a product there. So I feel like they should have either just split them into 4 equal quadrants or gave you a 5th color in there. I'm not sure why they did it like that. I kind of feel like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my opinion. So that's kind of like one little point against it. And my second point against it is that I wish they would have at the very least, did like a light skin tone palette and a deep skin tone palette. With there being 2 palettes, I understand that Flower Nose is a predominantly Asian brand, but they are a global brand as well, and I really feel like they missed the mark on at least having like a darker version and a lighter version, because honestly I kind of feel like there's not really that much of an excuse anymore. If you're going to be a global brand, you need to have global colors as well. So unfortunately I was very let down by that, especially since there are only 2 palettes. The very least they could have done was like a light to medium and a medium to deep. I just feel like they kind of missed the mark on that as far as the diversity. As far as the formula itself goes, I really like this. I can see myself using these. They're very rich and pigmented and creamy and applied really well, so I do like the product. I would just really love to see some more diversity when it comes to color tones for complexion products. We've got to do better, Flower Nose. I love you so much. I love you so much. Please just like expand your colors a bit more, please. I love you, please. And I want so many more people to love you too. Knowing what I know now though, I would absolutely get the strawberry chocolate color. For me, this one just suited my skin tone so much better. I definitely would buy this again. So the next two products we have are their little mini keychain products they have been doing lately, and I have to say I really am a fan of this like format of products. I think it's so cute. So there are two different color options here. We have the first one here. This one is called Cocoa and this one is called Cookie. These are $20 each, so I do think it's a little bit steep for the size of the product you're getting, but let's go ahead and get into the application. And when you open them up, they have a little finger puff in here. There is also a little mirror, and there's a little plastic insert you can pop out that separates the powder from the puff. And this one is the color Cocoa. It is a very light pinky kind of color almost. It's definitely a light color, I will say. This one is a little bit more, also equally as light, but this one has a slightly more of a yellow toned, whereas the other one was a little bit more pink toned. So if I hold them up together, they are microscopically different. Don't know if you really need both of them, but let's go ahead and try these on and see what they look like. I'm going to use these to set my under eyes. So starting off with the one Cocoa, I think I'm going to put that one under this eye. I will say this little teeny tiny puff is a little bit hard to use because the ribbon is a little bit large, so it kind of just like slides all over the place, so just a little bit tough. So let's go ahead and apply just a little bit of that to where I had the concealer. I might be better off using like a little bit of a brush or something. This isn't exactly the brush I would use to set my concealer, but let's try it out anyway. Now, one thing I will say about the concealer, I did apply a little bit to my lid. You can definitely see it did start to crease. So I think for me personally, it's definitely going to be a concealer that I would need to set, but I think it just depends on where you're applying it and, you know, your skin type and all that. So for me, I definitely think I would. All right, I think that is the best I can do with this little powder puff. Overall, I don't think it necessarily gave a noticeable brightening effect. I think it just really kind of, you know, just set the concealer. So that is how the pink toned one, Cocoa, looks. All right, and then we're gonna do Cookie on this side. Honestly, like they are very subtly different. I don't even think there's going to be much of a perceivable difference on my face between these two colors. I do have to be completely honest with you guys. I cannot tell a single difference on my skin tone between these two colors. So knowing what I know now, if I were not a collector and I was just buying this based purely on the makeup item itself, I would have to skip on both of these. I just think for the size of them, the price is a little bit expensive for what it is. Now I do say they're very cute, having the keychain and the product. I love it. Having both of these definitely is not necessary for me. And once again, the diversity, I think they definitely could have done a lighter one and like a medium to deep one. Like we could have made it work, and I feel like it was a little bit of a letdown for this. So unfortunately, knowing what I know now, I probably would have skipped on these based purely on the product itself. Next up, we have some eyebrow products. These are called the dual-ended brow and gel pencil, and these are $15 each. There are 3 different color options for these. I always love when Flower Nose brings out a new type of product. Of course, every collection we're gonna get blushes and lip products and eyeshadow palettes and all those cool things. However, I love whenever they bring out a new type of products. So let's go ahead and see what I think of these. So as far as the colors go, we have the brown one here. This one is called Taupe Brown. We have the pink one, which is called Natural Brown. And then we have the vanilla colored one. That one is called Beige Brown. So let's go ahead and go like darkest to lightest and see what these colors look like. This is such a unique shape. I don't think I've quite seen another product exactly like this. It's kind of like an angled chisel cut. So it's cut at an angle and it has like a rhombus shape to it. I will do an up close so you guys can see a little bit better at the shape that I'm talking about. Let's do a little swatch of this one. Oh, I did have a little bit of breakage on this one. One thing I will say right off the bat, these do have a bit more of like a dry kind of texture as far as the pencil goes. It did kind of break off just a little bit on the tip from the very first use. But as far as the brown color, this is the darkest of the pencils. And this one definitely has a neutral to cool tone as far as the brown goes. It's not very warm, it's not very orangey or anything. It's definitely more towards like a gray brown type of tone. And then on the bottom, if you untwist it, you have a small spoolie with the brow gel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of that and do a swatch of it. Now I will say, interestingly enough, the brow gel of this is a little bit more warmer toned than the corresponding pencils. So that one definitely has a little bit more warmth to it, and it's not a super thick kind of like gel. It's almost a little bit more of a transparency kind of formula. So once again, I will just have to like see how these work on my actual brows. Moving on, we're gonna do the natural brown one. All right, this one's kind of interesting. So we have the pencil here. Compared to the last one, I think it actually has a very similar depth to the color. It's about the same darkness. It's just a little bit more warmer. I still wouldn't call this a warm brown, but this one's definitely more neutral compared to the last one. But the brow gel color is a lot lighter than I was expecting it to be, and it almost has a little bit more of a yellow toned brown to it. I'm not sure how I feel about that one so far. The color is just a little bit different than I would have expected it to be. And once again, there's not a lot of pigmentation to it. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just, I feel like there's not a lot of product in here is where I'm kind of where I'm feeling at the moment. All right, and then moving on to the last one. This one is called Beige Brown. All right, I don't know how I feel about this one. So this one, again, the depth of the brown is very similar to the other two. This one, however, it is kind of giving me a little bit of like a greenish tint to it almost. And I kind of hate to say that because I was really hoping this would be like the one for me, but I just don't know. And then once again, we have a very light brow gel bordering on that like goldeny green olive tinge. So interesting choices, I will say. So I think I'm actually against all judgment. I'm gonna go for the darkest one. This one was the taupe brown color. Let's go ahead and do a light fill in with the pencil. One thing I will say, actually applying this to the brow, it doesn't feel as hard as it did when I was swatching it. So when I was swatching it, it felt like very, very dry, but it actually, I feel like went onto the brow really easily. I was able to do like little baby strokes, and it doesn't look too intense, I don't think. So I actually think in use, I think it was actually the perfect amount of hardness and softness for it to apply to my brow without feeling like it's like ripping out brow hairs, and not too soft that I feel like you could just like sweat and wipe away your eyebrow. But now I'm gonna use the brow gel to kind of soften it all, further blend it in, just kind of meld the color together. I do really kind of like how it looks. It does give me a little bit more of a bolder brow, which I don't mind because I don't have a lot of brow to begin with. So of course this is like my natural skinny brow. This is a little bit more filled out, a little bit more bold brow, I will say, but I actually do kind of like it. It's not bad. I'm definitely gonna have to try these out a little bit more. My first impression, I thought I wasn't gonna like these, but now that I've actually applied it to the brow, I actually am kind of liking these a little bit more than I thought I would. I will definitely have to try these out a few more times with the other colors. I definitely do like the color that I used today. It is a little bit more on the bolder side than what I would typically go for my brows, but I don't think they look bad, and I actually quite like this one. So color wise, out of all of them, I like this one because it's the most cool toned and neutral. I will go back and try these as well though, so I will have to reserve my judgment on these until I'm actually using them. But from the swatches, I was a little bit sus on the colors, especially of the lightest one. So I'm gonna reserve my judgment on these, so I will definitely just have to try these out a little bit more. Moving on to the next products, we have the blushes for this collection. These are called the Silk Satin blushes. These are $26 a piece, and there are 5 different colors. So let's go ahead and I'll share with you guys which colors I tried on today. So starting off with the first one here, this one is called Shimmer Souffle. This one's in like the cream colored packaging, and this one is a gorgeous rosy pink color. This is definitely a blush type that I would love on my skin tone. So there is the first one. Next up we have number 2, Garden Picnic. This one is in more of like the kind of like the tan colored packaging, and this one goes slightly more peachy than the last one. If I hold the 2 up, this one is number 2, this is number 1. This one's a little bit more pink, this one's slightly more peach. I will say in depth they're pretty similar. It's really just the undertone that is slightly different. Next up for number 3 we have Rose Chanson. This one is in the pink packaging, and this one to me almost goes a little bit more of like a dusty mauve-y kind of pink. I think it's most similar to the first color, so if I compare these two, pretty similar I would say, just as far as they look in the pan. Then we have number 4. This one is called Berry Parfait. This one is in the chocolate covered compact, and this one is definitely the pop of pink color as far as all the blushes go in this collection. If you really like those hot pink kind of pinks, this one I actually think is a little bit more of a cool tone pink, but you know, the bright poppy pinks. If you're into that, this is definitely going to be the one for you. And then finally for the last one we have number 5. This one's called Bear Biscuit. This one is in the mint packaging, and this one is a little bit more of like a deeper brick kind of color. If I compare that one, I think it's most similar to number 2, Garden Picnic. I think they're definitely the most similar. They're on like the warm side, but this one's just a little bit more muted and slightly deeper. I feel like these are all similar but very slightly different. They do have their different undertones and slightly different depths, but at the end of the day I feel like these are all pretty similar to all have in one collection. But I do think that this one is the standout as far as all these go. I kind of feel like they could have diversified it a bit. The pink is just calling to me. You guys know I love the poppy pink blushes, and I always kind of like to see how the brightest blushes perform from Flower Nose. So I think today we're gonna go for the pink one. That one was called Berry Parfait. And you guys know it absolutely kills me to destroy the little imprints on here, but it must be done. So I'm gonna dip into here with my brush. And the thing I love about these blush brushes is how gentle and soft they are. I really feel like they work so well with this formula, and it really does kind of give you like a very soft, airbrushed type of look whenever you're applying the blush. So that is like one light kind of pass. So there is the blush with one light layer on, and then this is with nothing. So let's go ahead and pick up a little bit more and let's see if we can build it up a bit. I feel like with this type of formula, with this brush in particular, you really kind of can't go wrong. Have you ever like applied your blush and you way overdid it and you're like, oh my gosh, I look like a Raggedy Ann doll? I feel like that is really hard to do with Flower Nose blushes and their blush brush because they just work so well together. So I am always a really big fan of theirs, and I really love this formula as well. I feel like this looks very natural on my cheek. Like I can kind of keep going and build it up if I want, but it just has a very soft kind of look to the skin, which I really love. Now for fun, I do want to do another blush on this side, and I'll just kind of like blend the two together when I'm done. But I want to do number 2, Garden Picnic. So this one is the more kind of like peachier kind of color from the collection. So let's go ahead and pick that one up with the brown brush and apply that to the cheeks. I really like doing a kind of like a spiral motion just to get the blush all over. Another color I really love on my skin tone. So that is the color Garden Picnic. Another thing I really love about this blush and this brush in particular, it does not kick up fallout at all. Like there was basically no fallout from this blush. So that is great because honestly, I hate whenever you have blushes that kick up a lot of product because at the end of the day, you're just blowing away the product. So I love that this one didn't have very much fallout at all. All right, so here are all of the colors. Once again, I'll do another up close so you guys can see a little bit better, but we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So I will say that this one would definitely be best suited, number 5, which was Bare Biscuit. That one would be best suited for medium to deeper skin tones. However, I do think these first 3 might have a better chance of showing up on light to medium skin tones. I do think that Berry Parfait has a good chance of showing up on deeper skin tones as well. So knowing what I know now, I absolutely love Flower Nose blushes. I think that once again, they could have done a little bit more diversity in the range of colors because the 4 that I talked about specifically, although they are a little bit different as far as undertone and depth, I do think overall when you look at all 4 of them side by side, I definitely think like we could have maybe mixed it up a little bit more. However, all the colors are very, very beautiful in my opinion. They're actually like all 5 of these are colors I would totally wear any day, and I think that they would look really good on me as well. So I do really like them, and I love the satin formula. I think it was a really good option. I love that they're kind of mixing it up again and bringing in some more finishes because for so long they have only had the matte. So I love seeing the satin blushes in this collection and also the Shells Jewel collection as well. So I would absolutely not buy all of these knowing what I know now, but I would definitely get 1 or 2 of them for sure. Next up we have the eyeshadow palettes, and you guys know I am a huge fan of Flower Nose eyeshadow palettes, and in this collection we have 3 different palettes here. They are all so stunning. I feel like every collection they just top it even more than the last. I don't know how they do it, but these are so pretty. So we have 3 different palettes to share with you guys today. We have number 1, this one's called Buttery Croissant. This one is a gorgeous, kind of more of like your safe palette, I will say. It's a little bit more on the warm, neutrally goldy kind of palette. Very beautiful colors. Next up, we have palette number 2. This one is called Strawberry Milk, and as you probably guessed, this one is more of the pinky toned palette. We do have a little bit of a pop of a yellow in here, which is very fun and unexpected. So that one is another very beautiful palette. And finally, we have the 3rd palette. This one is called Mint Chocolate. This one really had my heart. I am dying to try this one out. And this one has a mix of minty colors, a little bit of a golden tan, and then some browns in here as well. So all of these palettes are $35 a piece, and let's go ahead. I'm going to share with you guys how I got my look today using the Strawberry Milk palette. So as always, I'll be starting my eyeshadow with some primer. It is so painful for me to ruin the impressions on these. These are so beautiful. Oh my gosh, they are like works of art on their own. But to start the look off today, I think we're going to take this color here. It's kind of like a warm matte peachy pink. So I'm going to start by applying this to the crease and bringing that inward. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of the slightly darker pink. I will say these do look pretty similar. I think they could have varied it up a little bit more, but I'm going to pick up that one and we're going to put it a little bit more towards the outer portion of the lid. So that one just kind of amplified the pink ever so slightly. Next, using the matte brown, same thing, I'm going to pick that up with a large fluffy brush, and we're going to deepen the crease with that one. We're going to keep it more towards the outer half. Using that same brown, we're going to take that on a pencil brush, and I'm going to run that on the lower bottom lash line. Next, using a tacky eyeshadow primer, I'm going to apply that to the center of my eyelids. I'm going to apply that just to the center of my lid because this is where we're going to apply the shimmer. And this will give it just a little something extra to stick to. Then with a clean finger, I'm going to take this bottom shimmer shade here. This one's a little bit of like a pinky orange reflex. And I'm going to apply that right on top of where we applied that sticky base. And just gonna really push the shimmer into my lid. I always love applying these shadows. I just feel like I get a better application with my finger, and the sticky base really helps it to stay in place with my hooded lids. So this one definitely has a lot of a sparkly, glittery type of finish to it. And I just love how magical that looks. And finally, with a flat shading brush, I'm going to take a little bit of that top shimmer. It's kind of like a pearly pink kind of color. I'm going to pick that up and apply that to the inner corner. And I'm going to run a little bit of that on the lower inner portion of my lash line. All right, and that is how the eyeshadow look turned out. I feel like it is so pretty. I love the pinky tones on me. I just feel like they look really nice with my skin tone. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my lashes and my liner and mascara and all that. And we're going to come back with the next product. I love these palettes. I'm a big fan of Flower Nose palettes and their eyeshadow formulas. I just love them. I think that they are beautiful. The colors are just lovely, and honestly, all three of these palettes I think I would have eventually ended up owning had I not gotten the all-in collection. If I was just purchasing like a regular collection, I was getting a couple items, I think I would have gone for the mint palette, which I am dying to try out. This one is just so pretty. So I think this is definitely the one I would have purchased first, but I absolutely would have eventually ended up buying all of these because I do really love the like everyday versatility of this type of palette, the buttery croissant one. These are just so pretty. I mean, you can't. You just can't go wrong with a beautiful palette like this. And of course, I just love the dreaminess of the pink palettes. They just do them so well. So honestly, this is definitely one of those rare situations where I kind of feel like I can't pick a favorite so far. They are all really good. So just know if you're gonna get one, it's gonna be a good one. And finally, for the lip products, we have the Coating Lip Jellies. There are 3 different color packagings and there are 3 colors of each type. So that means there are 9 colors total. I do have all the colors, so we're gonna try all of them on right now. And the price of these are $20 each. If you guys watch my Strawberry Cupid collection, these might look a little familiar. They are very similar packaging to the little cake lip creams, but these are just slightly different. They are a different texture than the last ones. The packaging is very similar, but they did make a few changes, and I'm not gonna take credit for it, but one of them was definitely a suggestion I made to them, and it happened, so do with that what you will. So one of the changes that they made, which I am so glad that they did, is when you open it up, they actually extended the lip portion of the applicator, because before it was a very short squatty one and it was so hard to get very close to your lips. And so I love that they made it just a little bit longer. It was perfect. I said it and they did it, so they must be listening. All right, so let's go ahead and try these on. We're just gonna go in number order for these. So starting off with number 1, this one is gonna be called Fluffy Toast. Oh my gosh, yeah, these are like a lip gloss kind of formula. All right, I really am digging on this formula. It's really interesting. All right, so this is the color Fluffy Toast. So this is the color Puff Bear, and that one is Peach Tea. This one is Ribbon Pink, Tiered Dress, Straw Pop, Canale, Croissant, and this one is Toffee. These are actually a yes for me as well. I don't think you need all of the colors, of course, but you know, if there's a color or two that really piques your interest, I would definitely pick up at least one. So definitely let me know which of these products are you the most interested in trying out. And don't forget, if you would like to purchase anything from Flower Nose, if you use my discount code or my referral links below, you can get a discount off your order. And if you choose to shop with my links, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.